Hi, welcome to Audiobook Academy. This is a self-paced audiobook. There's no need to keep an eye on things. Just pay attention. Thank you for taking the time to listen. This is a book summary of Change by Tim Brown. Do you recall that brilliant business idea you had while shampooing your hair the other day? Now is the time to take action. Tim Brown, an author and award-winning designer, is the author of the widely read business book Change by Design. There is a lot of interest in the design thinking process in business schools and corporations because it explains how to apply it to innovation challenges and how to follow design thinking guidelines in order to foster creativity. IDEO, the undisputed global leader in strategy, innovation, and design, owes a lot of its success to Tim Brown and his team. When it comes to coming up with new ideas and approaches to the world's most pressing issues, Brown's Change by Design is a valuable resource. From his own experience, he demonstrates how design thinking can make all the difference in achieving true innovation. Here, you'll find a framework for solving problems in society that allows for both creative thinking and a rigorous, systematic approach. We begin by defining the term design thinker and the process of design thinking. We'll talk about the importance of key design thinking concepts, such as a design thinker's train of thought, putting people first. When it comes to a project, a design thinker keeps three words in mind: desirability, feasibility, and viability. These are the three words that every design thinker keeps in mind when approaching a project. What makes design thinkers unique is their integrative approach to projects. They bridge the gap between business, technology, and people. True innovation is at the heart of design thinking, not just aesthetics. Do you find it difficult to save money despite your best efforts? When the Keep the Change program was launched in 2004, Bank of America hoped it would bring a human-centered, design thinking angle to an industry that isn't known for innovation. In the first year of the program's launch in 2004, more than 700,000 new check account holders and more than 1 million savings account holders were created. However, design thinking is so much more than this and shouldn't just come in at the end of any innovation process, but at the beginning. Design thinking is typically associated with making things more accessible and more attractive to use. We are now in the midst of massive change, with many of our existing solutions obsolete, and we're facing questions about global warming, education, how we stay healthy, get clean water, and how we keep ourselves secure. In times of change, we need new, alternative ideas, says Brown. We also tend to spend much of our time analytically, says Brown. We also tend to spend much of our time analytically, says Brown. We all have the capacity to be creative, intuitive, recognize patterns, and construct functional and meaningful ideas that benefit the end user, but when we automatically go into problem-solving mode, these abilities are often overlooked. As a result, Brown provides us with a blueprint to help us navigate the path to creating something that is both meaningful and impactful. The method of design thinking. By contrast, the myth of innovation is that brilliant ideas leap fully formed from the minds of geniuses. In reality, our final ideas are often radically different from the original ones. Most innovations result from a process that involves constant revisions and self-reflections. To be a design thinker involves 5 stages: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. This is a process that asks us to understand our users, question our assumptions, redefine problems, and create innovative solutions. Design thinkers prioritize the end user, putting people before products and operating from a human-centered framework. They have an openness to new ideas and a willingness to experiment. Give priority to others. Design thinkers are unique in that they have a keen eye for how a product or service affects people's behavior and emotions. During the 1990s, Procter & Gamble's most prominent and best-known skincare brand, Oil of Olay, was struggling, and the company wanted to turn the brand around. But how? They turned to their customers for answers. They observed customers in mass retailers, and in high-end retail stores, and discovered the market for younger, more confident female consumers was missing. Using design thinking, Procter & Gamble was able to open new markets and double its sales in record time by developing new formulas, developing prototypes, testing these products, and taking advantage of price points and store displays. Finally, through the process of design, and by focusing on people, the company launched a premium range of products that were well received by a wide range of consumers. So, innovative solutions must be designed with human beings in mind. What could make someone's life easier or more fruitful? What truly meets the needs and desires of customers, stakeholders, or employees? These questions should be the starting point for any project. This is why Brown identifies 3 essentials that are mutually reinforcing for any successful design project. There is a need for insight, Empathy and observation. Learning from others' lived experiences is an important part of human-centered design. To get a sense of what a person's needs are, we can observe their behavior. This type of need assessment is different from that of analyzing data or statistics, but it leads to a deeper understanding of a specific problem in the long run. Empathy is the ability to put oneself in the shoes of another. Being able to feel and experience what our customers are feeling and experiencing is a crucial part of the customer experience. A new realm of understanding can be gained through empathy. Instead of relying on someone else's description of the process, Brown tells the story of designers as patients in an emergency room. When you observe, you're looking at what people don't do or don't say. Brown claims that the best design thinkers have a keen eye for detail. They pay attention to what is commonplace in the world around them. When it comes to brands like Olay, observing real-life behavior is critical because it provides valuable information about consumers' most pressing needs. As a result, design begins with a focus on the user and then moves into the production of products quickly. Now is the time for build to think rather than just speculating about what we should build. Make use of your whole body when making decisions. The innovation process is accelerated through the use of prototyping. When it comes to mechanical testing, prototyping is the only way to find out if a design will work or not. As a consumer, we get to see if it's appealing and whether or not people actually want it. However, it's not just prototyping that matters, it's the speed at which we do it. Intuitively, entrepreneurs know this. The biggest firms? Probably not. As a result, they prefer to conduct extensive planning before making anything, rather than relying on a prototype. The truth is that the faster we make things, the sooner we can put them into use. And the more quickly we do this, the more quickly we learn about the quality of our idea and whether or not it is something that is going to work. Many industries have cripplingly long average times to first prototype when consulting with IDEO, Brown's company, about how to improve their designs for large corporations. Entrepreneurs have an easier time disrupting large corporations because they can go through the interactive prototyping process at a faster pace. Using rapid prototyping, we are able to quickly loop through the design process 3 spaces of inspiration, ideation, and implementation, as defined by Brown. The more we put our ideas into action, the more we learn about how people use them, and the more we can improve upon them. Using our prototype, we can experiment with new ideas and see if they work before moving on to the next phase of development, which includes refining and testing our original concepts. Just make sure your prototypes are good enough before moving on to the next step. Never let perfection stand in the way of what is good. Prototypes aren't meant to be finished products, but rather a way to quickly iterate through the design process. Take a look at the first mouse Apple created using only a deodorant roll-on ball and a plastic butter dish. When it comes to surgery, speed and precision go hand in hand, and Brown explains how rapid prototyping can help. Medical company Baxano enlisted IDEO to help develop a medical instrument that would aid surgeons in performing spinal surgery in a safer and faster manner. IDEO was tasked with assisting Baxano in the development of a surgical instrument that would make spinal surgery less taxing. Despite the potential life-altering effects of spinal reconstruction surgery, even minimally invasive spinal procedures put patients under anesthetic for long periods of time for the surgeons and their team. This can be physically taxing at times. The IOFlex is the result of a 7-week rapid prototype process in which the design team worked with surgeons to develop a workable solution. In order to relieve pressure on nerves that pass through the spinal cord, surgeons can use the IOFlex, a minimally invasive surgical device, to remove just the right amount of bone without putting the spine at risk. Surgeons can save time and improve accuracy by using this device during spinal surgery. This instrument was used in surgeries just 8 months after the project was launched. When you consider how quickly many large medical companies produce, this time frame is astounding. Whatever the nature of your project, if you're looking for new ideas, the design thinking process has your back. However, no matter how innovative your concept is, a good idea doesn't sell itself. In order to get buy-in, you need to get people involved. Build value by involving people in meaningful activities. Good ideas rarely sell themselves, says Brown. As we've learned from Made to Stick in The Tipping Point, it's all in the presentation. A product or idea should be sold by embracing the art of storytelling and enticing people to participate in the process from the start. A new industry was born in the 20th century that was primarily focused on selling products. How we market and advertise these goods has, however, evolved. From consumers to participants, we've seen a shift in how we view ourselves. In the words of Paul Sappho, the 19th century was characterized as an industrial one, the 20th as a consumer one, and the 21st century as a creator one. Rather than encouraging people to buy, Advertising and design are now focusing on creating meaningful, participatory experiences that build value for the user. We need to tell the story of how our new product, service, or strategy came to be in order to elicit such a strong emotional response from our customers. Consumers are more receptive to our ideas when they are presented in the form of a story. Do you have a connection to the history of your winter coat? Why did you buy a winter coat this year? Founded in New Zealand, Icebreaker is committed to the use of natural fibers and environmentally friendly manufacturing practices. The why of Icebreaker is to promote openness, which is why each item of clothing is labeled with a unique barcode. As far back as New Zealand, customers can see exactly where their jacket's merino wool comes from. Customers who write their own stories are more likely to have meaningful ones. However, according to Brown, telling stories isn't enough in today's digital age. Creating common commitment is the best way to make our ideas and concepts relatable, but the most meaningful stories are those written by customers themselves. We don't just need creative solutions, we need creative moments. The author's personal passionate movement is to encourage more people to engage in design thinking and to emphasize its importance as a discipline. To this end, Brown has launched OpenIDEO, an online innovation platform that invites the global community to collaborate and develop solutions for the world's most difficult problems. Inspired by design thinking, we aim to make a positive social impact. Celebrity chef Jamie Oliver of the United Kingdom used OpenIDEO to host a design challenge to combat childhood obesity. For him, it was important that children eat more fresh, whole foods. In the first phase of the challenge, participants shared their stories and videos on the OpenIDEO website in an effort to inspire others to come up with creative solutions to the challenge. With the help of design experts, they were able to narrow down the more than 200 concepts they received through community engagement to just 17 workable solutions. In the end, what's for dinner? The Last Class of the Day by Chris Waugh won. For the final class of the day, students learn how to prepare a nutritious meal for their families by making it themselves. A hands-on teaching activity at the end of the school day provides teachers with an opportunity to engage students in a more focused learning experience. So, the key to getting buy-in is to get started from the beginning of the process. A product or service's life cycle and how it's used by its customers should be taken into consideration. Make sure to include the customer at every stage of the process. Alternatively, have them write and participate in the story of your innovation from the beginning. So that's it. It's not uncommon for people to take design for granted and attempt to save money wherever they can. Design is thinking made visual, says Saul Bass. A great resource for anyone who needs to be more inventive in their work or simply wants a fresh perspective on societal issues. This book is for you. The design process is open and collaborative, and it invites everyone to take part in creating a better tomorrow, right now. Innovation challenges can be tackled with Change by Design's holistic and interdisciplinary approach. This course teaches us how to move from an issue to a solution. It's critical to remember that these ideas aren't limited to tangible goods. These are universal principles that can be applied to any problem, from a simple order-taking process to a global societal issue. Right now, what one issue would you like to see resolved? Is there a way you can use design thinking right now to solve this problem? Thank you for listening in Audiobook Academy. Please don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. See you in next audiobook.